What is good, people? Anime Party City here to give us a lesson on how to use Minato the way that he should be used, and also the way that I would use him, which is the same way that he should be used in the anime somewhat. So first we're going to go into some small steps. First we're going to go on to basics, then we're going to go on into some extra formulas to include your combo. And we'll start from there. So guys, for those who are not interested in Minato players and those who are not interested, you may leave if you want, but for those that like to play with Minato and feel like that Minato needs a little more ingredients into their fighting, etc., then I recommend watching this because this is a good tutorial. Because I myself am a specialist with Minato, so this should be a simple and no problem task for you guys as long as you listen carefully and observe what I'm going to be showing you. Alright, so let's get this going. Hopefully you guys enjoy yourselves. Leave a like if you like the video, and let's start. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the difference between a ninja move and chakra dash. For those who get that mixed up, that's why I'm discussing these two before we move on. A ninja dash is where you bring your analog stick to either the left or right, and whatever your input is that you require to jump with, you use that, but make sure you press that same button twice so that it can get this reaction. Now, this isn't just a once per turn thing that you could do. With that, you could do it multiple times if you wanted to. His sidestep is unique and special compared to the others. His is more like what the anime would show him as, where his teleportation would be something like this. Now this is a pretty effective maneuver as long as you know what you're doing. Now for that to work, you must not flick it, but you have to use your analog stick, bring your analog stick either to either corner of the left or the right side of where you move, and as soon as you move, you press your input that you require to jump, and you press that button twice along with your analog stick going to a certain direction. Now that's what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to tell you why that's important for this character. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's a little bit not part of this lesson, but it will relate to it. Minato's last name, the Yellow Flash, kind of takes effect in this game because of this one technique. Now, however, it's more effective if you use the top item or your down item, which is one of them. Now, when you do the inputs correctly, it's going to look like this somehow. As long as you know what you're doing. Now if you go back, that's going to be a mistake just like that. Now a quick tip for this is don't triple tap the button that requires you to jump, because it will take this effect instead. It's going to give you a chakra dash, not a chakra dash, a ninja dash instead of the chakra dash. And a chakra dash, you don't really need to do too much chakra dashing with this character because this is already pretty much his chakra dash if you think about it. Now, I'm not saying you can't use it, you actually have to use it, but this is more of his reliable source than anything else that requires it to move. Because that's an effective way to dodge your opponent. Now, say for Killer B, if he were to try to use his jutsu, I could probably just would have jumped over him twice and go like that, pretty much, if you wanted to. And you would actually be safe, but make sure that you're in a certain distance where it would take effect, because remember, it's not a flying technique or anything, you're actually going down along with it if you're going forward. And so, yeah, now the thing that you would want to learn, this is the advanced thing, but you will eventually get the hang of it, is where you're going into a certain direction and where you're going to chakra dash from the side. Now, for that to take effect, you could do it in the sky too. It'd be something like this, but you'd be going around there, like that. Now, you saw how I kind of like did a zigzag from straight forward to the left and then towards here. That's something that's I'm going to go over in what's it called, a step-by-step format. So what you're gonna do is you double tap the button twice that you're required to jump. Now the next thing you do is you sidestep, and after that you just chakra dash pretty much. But make sure that you do all this at a quick pace, which is gonna look like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that again to refresh your memories. Jump, jump side, chakra dash. Jump, jump side, chakra dash. Or backwards, doesn't matter. Now that I'm done with this little lesson right here, now we're gonna move on into his combos, which is something that you could try to work into to involve another combo if you like to. And so we'll start from there. So let's move on to the next topic. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about within his combos is his neutral combo. His neutral combo is a, I believe, 11 hit, I think something like that combo. But first we're going to do his full combo, and we're going to see where I could stop at and tell you where you could stop and do something different. Now this is where we're going to start off, so let's start with his full combo first, so here we go. But yeah, his combo at least lands 11 hits, and there are two ways to try to use that combo to your advantage. Now, there's a few ways actually. When you're comboing, when his knives hit your opponent, you can kind of sidestep going around pretty much. So this is what it's going to look like for a quick step-by-step format. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you pretty much go to the side. Now, you notice that when I stop with the kunai, if you observe carefully, this opponent of mine is going to be in a shock position for at least 2 seconds, and you'll see when you see this now. Now, you saw the shocked position just now. That's where you could try to do an ultimate jutsu or regular jutsu. Actually, no. The regular jutsu, if you want to, you could do right before the knife. But you could use your items to your advantage for that point. And you could try to use your support too, but for now I'm going to show you just how to use Minato for that purpose until we get to how to use your support, and then yeah. But so what you could do with him is this pretty much. Perfect. Now you see that I just activated a food item, or a speed pill is what you would like to call it, and you could do pretty much the same thing. Remember that you have to stop where your kunai lands, and you have to do a sidestep pretty much, which is this. Now I'm going to refresh your memories and show you what you can do with his neutral combo, because that's what we're discussing at the moment. Perfect. Let's go. Rasengan. Now stuff like that, the Rasengan part, you don't have to move or anything. That's something that you could try to involve in a combo, because when you're trying to do cancel out technique, you're actually moving towards the side and doing something different. So this is a very simple technique to understand, and a lot of people actually fall for it. And that's another reason why Minato is actually a pretty good character. I'm not saying he's not the only good character, but that's one of the effective things that could be of use for Minato. And so I'm going to observe to you that little combo with the Rasengan. You don't have to move at all for this combo. Let's go, Rasengan! All you do is, when the knives are about to approach, almost about to approach, just activate your chakra button and activate the button that releases your jutsu. Now, the other thing you could do with him is his tilt, which you're going to have to require your knives for this. Now, his tilt is something I'll discuss after the forms of combos are over. For now, I'm going to show you where you could land a combo cancel, and then I'll start with the next combo. So this is where you're going to land your ultimate jutsu when you do this combo. Let's go! Rasengan! Now, that's one of the effective ways to use Minato. You could constantly use your food pills, like I previously showed you, which would be this. Now, a quick tip is you don't always have to use your speed pill, but I recommend doing it once and then try to do combos and try to keep your distance a lot. And same for the top item, which is almost like a speed pill, except for it has an extra thing involved. But I'm not going to discuss that until almost towards the end of the tutorial. But since that now we're done pretty much with the neutral combo, I'm not going to show the support part because the support is going to be kind of obvious to understand how to use. And so yeah, now that we're done with this neutral combo, now we're going to go into his up combo. Okay, so his up combo is a combo where it's like a sky uppercut and then going back down pretty much. So first we're going to observe what it looks like. I already know what it looks like, but for those who don't really know what it is, which I really doubt, which I'm sure everybody in the Naruto community already seen it, but I'm going to show you what it is anyway. So this is what it's going to look like. Now you could do a few things with that combo, and probably only two things that you could do with it. You could try to use your support for it, and that's probably the only effective way that you probably could use the up combo. Now I have the second Hokage, so it's going to be a little different, and I could use it in a certain time as well if I wanted to. So if I wanted to use my support for it, I would do this. Now that combo is already a pretty effective maneuver. It almost pretty much was like an ultimate jutsu right off the back. Now I could have done that sooner, which would look like this, but I don't think it'd be that effective. Well, it pretty much almost does the same combo damage, but that's probably usually the only way that you would mostly want to use your up combo. Anything else besides that, you really don't need to go over. I mean, you could try to do a Rasengan, but it's not going to be that successful, but it will look like this.
Let's go, Rasengan!
It's not all that effective, so don't even bother trying to do that. And so that's all you're going to really need to know about his up combo, is that you can try to use your support for your backup. And that's really about it for that up combo. There wasn't really a lot to discuss about the up combo. That was pretty short for it. And you could do another thing, but it's not really all that important, so I'm not even going to bother with it. So now we're pretty much done with his his up combo. And so now we're going to resume into his down combo, where things get a little bit interesting. And so let's go there. Alright, so now we're going to talk about his down combo. His down combo, I think, was a 11-hit combo as well, or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the combo, and I'll tell you where you could stop and do the combo. So this is what his down combo is going to look like.
In a flash.
So his combo lands at least 12 hits, and when he was kind of like making you trip in a sense, which is going to be this area, right around there, that's where you're going to try to do either your support, a jutsu, an ultimate jutsu, or a tilt. Now you could do all that. You could use your speed pill, but I recommend doing one of those 4 options depending on what your situation is. For now, I'm going to discuss the tilt first. So what you're going to do is, when you're pretty much tripping your opponent, that's where you're going to activate your tilt. Remember that you must sidestep to do this, so this is what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to look like. And so I'm going to resume again because I don't think you got a good shot of it. So this is what it's going to look like again.
I'm ready to battle.
Whoops. I accidentally pressed the relay button. My bad. So yeah, that's one thing that you could do with his down combo, to go into a tilt and continue your combo like I just previously showed you. Now I could show you the jutsu, which that's going to be something that you're going to have to time good with, because that's something you actually need to move just a very little bit. But I'm going to show you that anyway, so this is what it's going to look like.
I'm ready to battle.
Whoops. Why does the relay seem to be coming out so often now?
Let's go. Rasengan.
So that's what his combo is going to look like if you do the Rasengan. And now, the other thing that I could show you is the food pill and the support. Now, you know what, before I even do that, let me get these blocks out of the way. Alright, so now that we got that cleared out, now I'm going to show you that you use your food pills to your advantage with that. Like I said, I mostly recommend using one of the other few. And so here we go, this is what you could do. So yeah, that's what you could do with his food pill. Just make sure that it's either your top or down combo that you're going to do that, because that's what's going to give you a little bit of a boost. If you use your tag or your kunai balloons, it's going to mess it up. Now, the other thing you could do is the ultimate jutsu, which that you're going to require to move just a little bit extra. So this is what you could do with your down combo with the ultimate jutsu.
Let's go. Rasengan.
Now remember, your objective if you're doing a combo cancel is to shock your opponent before you do anything. And now, the last thing that you're going to discuss about with this down combo is the support that you could use to do it with. So this is what it's going to look like for that. And so here we go. Now, it's not as effective, but it's good if you're trying to get your chakra back and stuff. And so, that's all you're going to need to know about his down combo. To refresh your memories, I'm going to do everything that I just previously showed you. So here we go.
Let's go. Rasengan. Let's go. Rasengan.
So there you go. That's all the combos that you're going to need to know. Hopefully you memorized all those down combo combinations. And so now we're going to resume and talk about his tilt that I previously said that we would move on after his forms of combos. And so here we go. Alright, so his tilt is something that you're going to try to have an advantage over, because his tilt is one of the things that makes him kind of broken in a sense, but it's not all that broken. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to discuss what his advantages are with the tilt. Say if your opponent is somebody that uses physical movement or physical jutsu, such as like Lee's combination jutsu, which is a leaf combo attack, Guy's dynamic entry, Hokage's lariat, Killer Bee's lightning jutsu, or whatever it was, Sasuke's Shidori, Naruto's Rasengan, Minato's Rasengan, Tsunade's Heaven Kick of Pain, Sakura's Cherry Blossom Crush. Anything that involves pretty much physical movement, he can cancel out with the tilt. Now, for those who don't know how to activate a tilt, it's a 3-step problem, which is pretty simple to understand and memorize. So what you do is, the analog stick that you use to move your character, you move either left or right, depending on how comfortable you are with whatever direction. And you press the physical button that you use to attack twice. That's what you're going to do, so this is what it's going to look like. Now, his tilt does cause you to go into another combo, which is a good advantage for this character. And you can resume with doing whatever you want with it, pretty much. So, I'm going to give a brief example of what it would be like if I did the tilt and did whatever. And so yeah, that's one way to try to affect it over your opponent and stuff. And so the other thing that you could do with his tilt is try to tilt spam, but that's something that people are going to have to understand with a little slow motion first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a step-by-step format for that one as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to activate your tilt. Now regardless, even if your opponent blocked it or was hit, you activate your shuriken, and then you do the tilt again, but in awakening. My apologies, I burped a little. But yeah, so this is what it's going to look like pretty much. Now when I do it, the shuriken's not going to come up because by the time that I do my awakening, it's already switched into a different order that I'm going to command it to. So this is what it's going to look like. That's what your main objective is going to try to be pretty much. And yeah. So what you could do with this tilt is that you could try to go into a Rasengan if you want to, but it's a little tricky to understand at first, but you'll eventually get it. But originally, if you're going to try to do it the easy way, I recommend going to Awakening and then do that. That's all you're going to pretty much have to do if you want to do it that way. You could try to do it this way and then into that way, but it's going to get a little confusing after the second tilt is activated. So the other thing you could do with the tilt is that you could try to use support to sneak behind him and use your support to get your opponent out of the way. And so this is what it's going to look like. It's not going to be as effective as the up combo or any others, but that's what it's going to look like pretty much. And so yeah, that's all you're going to need to know about his tilts. And the other thing before I even go on to the next session, which is going to be the jutsus, before I even go there, just a quick reminder, because I didn't involve this in the little discussion about his tilt. His tilt involves a shock, so if you were to try to do an ultimate jutsu, for an example, you could just do this. Now, it's not all that hard to understand to do. It's pretty simple, but you're going to have to try to time it perfectly. And so, yeah, that's all you're going to need to know about his tilt. And so now we're going to go on into his jutsu. Alright, so now we're going to move on into his Rasengan. His Rasengan is a jutsu which requires him to waste his chakra. The more times you hold on to your physical button while activating your jutsu, the stronger it gets, but the longer it'll take to activate. So I recommend do not use it all the time unless your opponent's guard is broken or you did a relay. So if you're going to try to do a relay, it's going to be a little tricky to understand the timing perfectly, but this is what it's going to look like. So right around then, once when he's about to pretty much drop kick you, make sure before he's about to, make sure you charge up your chakra and try to do that. And if you're going to do the regular jutsu of his Rasengan while doing a relay, it's going to be different.
Let's go, Rasengan!
Now you notice that there's a different time difference between the two Rasengans that I just previously showed. Now, another thing that you could do with his Rasengan is use your neutral or your normal combo and your down combo to try to get into the Rasengan. And so another way to use it would be with his tilt. Now his tilt is going to be the way of where you're going to have to be an awakening first if you're going to try to do it in any other way. So that's going to be the tricky thing to understand with that character, is that when you do awakening, make sure that you do it in the right format. Like, you notice how it took some time to get out of that perfectly fine. That's pretty much going to be the tricky thing to understand with this character. So what you're going to do is do that. You're going to try to do it twice and try to encounter it with a Rasengan, because that's going to give you time to react fast enough to another jutsu. And so now I'm going to show you, in a sense, it's like a little reminder of his neutral and down combo into a Rasengan pretty much. And so this is what it's going to look like, just in case those forgot how to do it already.
Let's go! Rasengan!
Now, the thing about their combos is that do not try to do a full charged Rasengan while doing a combo. Just go with the short Rasengan, it'll still be effective. And now here comes the down combo.
Let's go! Rasengan!
So there you go. That's all the combos that you're going to need to know for his Rasengan. And so now we're going to move on into his ultimate jutsu and team ultimate jutsu. Okay, so now we're going to go into the ultimate and team ultimates. All the combos that could land into an ultimate could definitely land into a team ultimate. Now, for those who don't know how to activate their team ultimate, you have to use your support. If you don't know how to try to use your support, then try to use it on balance. Just like my support is on balance, because it's easier to get your bar to a different color and start making it go look like it's in searing flames, which what it looks like now. That's when it is prepared and able to be activated to use your team ultimate. But for now, we're going to show you the combos where you can do a ultimate jutsu first. Now, I've already showed you everywhere where you could do a team ultimate. Not a team ultimate, an ultimate jutsu, my apologies. And we're just gonna remind you, and so here we are.
Let's go! Rasengan!
So that's one way. Now we go to the down combo.
Let's go! Rasengan!
And now there's a tricky one with the tilt, which I recommend try to be up close with your opponent for this, because it's a little difficult to master if you're in a certain distance. So this is what it's going to look like. Whoops, my bad.
Let's go! Rasengan!
Why does Rasengan come out instead? That's weird. My apologies. There we go.
Rasengan!
But yeah, that's another way to use it. And now the last thing, which is the relay, which is something you're going to have to time something different. Before I go there, if you're going to try to relay into your ultimate, when your support is hitting your opponent from the sky, the second time when he hits them, try to activate it. So this is what you're going to try to aim for.
Ready to battle. Let's go.
See, there you go. The second hit when he's in the sky, that's when you activate it. Now, that's the ultimate jutsu and the forms of where you can use it. Now we're going to discuss about the team ultimate, which is going to be a little slightly easier, but it's going to cause an extra button to be activated. Now, I'm going to tell you, pretty much, if there's a combo cancel, you could definitely try to glitch your opponent with it. And so, yeah, that's just a quick little reminder for those who like to glitch people. You're going to be up front, in front of them, like this, at point blank range, and you activate your team ultimate when you combo cancel. But for now, I'm not really trying to make you become a glitcher, but I'm just telling you that's a little advice that could be fixed for your issues or whatever. So now we're going to go into the team ultimate, and so this is where it's going to look like. Like that right there could definitely cause a glitch.
I'll end this quick. Rasengan!
Now we're going to go into his down combo, which I would think is more like a 95% chance of a glitch, because he's right in front of you when he does it.
Ready? I'll end this quick.
And I'm just letting you know that the tilt, if you're going to do this, it's slightly easier, but you're going to have to move up just an extra step after you get out of your awakening with the tilt.
Nice work.
And so this is what it's going to look like.
Ready?
Now, you can't really say it's a combo cancel, but it definitely causes your opponent to be in a shock position for you to activate your team ultimate. So this is also another effective maneuver. And so the last thing would be his relay, and That's something that's going to be a little slightly different to understand.
I'm ready to.
That's going to cause a different time to think about it.
Ready?
Like, now should be the time for it. Like, once it is like halfway in the sky, that's when you're going to activate your team ultimate, but make sure you're in the distance where else just have to get it right.
Rasengan.
And so that's all the things that you're going to need to know for this character.
Nice work.
And now, since that we're done with that, now we're going to go into his items. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going to go into his awakening instead. So yeah, we're going to discuss that, and then we have 2 other steps to take care of, and then we're pretty much done. Okay, so now we're going to discuss about this analog stick right next to where you control your character. That, if you flick it to a different direction, you are going to go into the stage. Now, the problem with that is that your chakra is going to be shrinking little by little and decreasing little by little. But if you're going to use his awakening, I recommend trying to use it for a little stall purpose, which is going to be like this because it's fast to get out of the way. Now, that's one way that you could use it, and that's probably the most effective way that you would want to use your awakening. However, you could use it for a little fancy trick, like the previous tilt spam, but this time you're going to add a flying Raijin to it. But it's pretty effective if you think about it. And I don't know why he came out, but whatever. But this is what it's going to look like if you do the flying Raijin plus the tilt spam.
Gotcha. In a flash. Get him. Never.
But yeah, that's what it's going to look like if you try to be a little fancy. The other thing you could do is what I previously showed you. Again, this is almost like a reminder, so don't get too upset or anything.
Let's go. Rasengan.
Do something like that, but I did it a little too soon, just letting you know. So this is what it's going to look like if I just did it in my own free will.
I'll finish it.
My bad.
I'll finish it. I'll finish it. Let's go. Rasengan.
Alright, so there we go. And now another way to use your awakening would be for those who like to abusively teleport. You can do this a lot. This is almost like Goku on steroids pretty much, but I recommend don't doing that because it's going to annoy the living shit out of people. You could actually become very vulnerable with that and ruin your chances of winning with Minato, because you're going to be wasting your chakra. Not to mention you're going to be wasting your bar and waiting for it to regenerate itself. So don't even bother trying to do that unless you're doing it for a troll or something. Now the last thing that you could do with it is the 2 ultimates that I showed you, where you go from the tilt and then ultimate jutsu.
Rasengan.
And then there's the team ultimate, which is a little slightly easier to use.
I'll finish it. Ready?
So that's what you're going to need to know about for his awakening. His awakening doesn't really need that much effort to try to put in. However, I recommend mostly using it for stalling purposes only, which would be this. Just a flash tap. And so yeah, now that we're pretty much done showing you the awakening stance and what you could do with it, now I'm going to show you what you could do with your support and all the combos that you could try to use your support with. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our support. Not a support I have specifically is the second Hokage. So for those who have different support styles and interests, it's okay. It's not going to make a difference because with Minato's combo, it's pretty likely as long as you get your timing right, you'll get your support to do whatever you want with it. Now, mine has a wide range of an attack, so even if he were to be on the side, I would still get him. So what you could do is you can use your neutral, your down, and your up combo for the second Hokage to strike back. So I'm going to show you where you could try to use it. First, we're going to start with the neutral. Now, it's not all that effective of a technique, but it's good if you're trying to get some damage going. Now, the other way would be the down combo, but it's not that effective either. Now, if you're going to use the second Hokage and you're using Minato, try to use the up combo and then try to use him. It's almost like an ultimate jutsu pretty much if you use it. So this is what it's going to look like. Like that is pretty much an ultimate jutsu right there, right off the back. Now you could do it a little bit sooner, it's fine. But if you wait for your opponent to almost smack the ground first, it's going to be more effective that way. But this is what it's going to look like if you do it a little bit sooner. Now, it pretty much does the same damage rate, so it won't make a difference. So that's all you're going to need to know, except for you could use your tilt, and you can try to be fancy with it, and use support at the same time, which will look like this. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. But this is what it's going to look like. You can try to do something like that. But originally, you should only use your tilt once while your support is going to be activated. Now, that's like almost like a full charge Rasengan pretty much. And so, yeah, that's what you're going to need to know about the support that you're using if you're going to use Minato. And so now, the last thing that we're going to talk about is the items, which is probably the most important thing for this character, and that's going to be about it. Okay, so the last and final thing before I go is his items, which is on the bottom left corner of where I am. Now you see that there's specific items. You only have a certain amount if you're playing on what's it called? Like player match, online rank match, or just regular offline gaming. You could use your items, but be careful with them. Before you can go there, I'm going to discuss what each of the items use and what their effects are. Now, the top item, which is his Formula Kunai, increases teleportation and speed. So, if you use that, make sure to use it wisely because you only have one item for that. Now, the tag decreases your opponent's attack by, I think, like 1.3. And so that's not really much of a huge difference, but it still decreases your opponent's attack. Next is your kunai balloons, which is something that is originally meant for his grabbing. So don't worry about that. I really don't use it all that much. You don't really need it all that much either. And the last item, which is the second most important item, I would say, would be his speed pill, which increases speed, but it doesn't increase his teleportation, but that doesn't matter because it still increases his sidestep ability. So, what we're going to discuss about is that when you're doing a combo, you could try to activate your pill to continue another combo. However, you could use a tag, but make sure you use it wisely. And you could try to continue your combo there. For now, I'm going to start with the tag because that's one of the items that you're going to have to try to understand first. Even though kunai is the first thing you should know, but I'm going to show you with the tag first. So this is what you want to do with the tag. So once when that kick is almost done pretty much, you're going to jump just once and then activate the tag. So it's going to look like this. That's what it's pretty much going to be like, and you continue your combo, but then. And so that's another way to use it. Now, if you want to be a little bit slick and easy with it, you could do this instead.
This'll be over. This'll be over. Perfect. This'll be over quick.
Now, that's another way to use it. You could do it with the down combo as well. And so, we're going to do it with the down combo as well.
This'll be a perfect. Perfect.
So that's simple enough. Now, you could try to do a combo within that, but for beginners, it's not going to be that simple because sometimes you might go backwards. Now, this is what's going to look like. What you're going to do is, depending on where your opponent is, depending on where your opponent's side is where you're going to bring your analog stick to keep your distance and side from where he is, pretty much. So I'm going to show you again with the down combo. This time I'm going to be in front of him. So yeah, and that's pretty much what you're going to need to know. Now with the kunai balloons, now say that Killer Bee's already in the trap position, something like that is going to take effect and you're going to try to grab, because that's the purpose of those kunai, but it's not much of a big deal. In my honest opinion, the kunai balloons is not the best item for him. I mean, it's good, but it's only for a good one shot because you're actually supposed to use all three of them at once. However, if your opponent is in a corner and you activate that, that's fine. So you still have 2 extra. Now, the way I would use the balloons is for stall purposes as well, such as this. And then I go backwards, sort of, try to stall then. But yeah, that's all you're going to need to know about Minato and how to use him, depending on your support as well. So guys, if those who liked the tutorial and thought that this was something that could boost your abilities with Minato, leave a like and comment on what you think. Maybe do you think I should do more tutorials, because this is my second tutorial, or should I do something different? It's up to you guys. But that's all, guys. Hopefully this helped out. I hope this really helped out, because this is very simple. Now, I'm going to give you a quick advice. I didn't give everything that I know with Minato, but I gave you about 70% of what I know with my character. And so, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.